morning. How's your day? So I'm your teacher for today and I'm Miss Ame Fediles, your discussant for today. Is the attendance perfect? Okay, very good. Now, I know you are already done about the quadratic equation. So I'm here to recall. So who can volunteer to discuss what is quadratic equation? Okay, quadratic equation meaning what? It is a mathematical sentence, of degree 2 that can be written in standard form. So again, what is standard form? Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, and c are real numbers. And a is not equal to 0. Again, why is it a is not equal to 0? Because of this degree. If we eliminate the degree 2, meaning it is linear. Therefore, for example, ax squared quadratic. And ax is what we discussed yesterday is linear. Clear? So, let's proceed now to the solution of roots of quadratic equation. So, these are the values of the variable or variables that make the equation come true. So, when we solve the quadratic equation using different methods, such as factoring, completing the square, extracting the square roots, and quadratic formula, and then the result is what we call the solution or roots of quadratic equations. So for the example of equation, so we have the two kinds of, we have linear equation and quadratic equation. So when we say quadratic equation, degree of 2. And when we say linear, meaning 1. So here it comes. So 9x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. Is it quadratic equation or linear? Micah. Very good. Quadratic equation. Why is it quadratic equation, Danilin? Very good. It's because of the degree. We have 2. Very good. And next, we have the x squared plus 4x plus 2. What it is? Quadratic equation or linear? Mary Jane. Very good. Linear. Why is it linear? John Lloyd. It is because of it has only 1 degree. Very good. Since you already know the quadratic equation, now let's proceed to factoring. Again, I repeat, we have the 4 methods in finding the solution or roots. So we have factoring, completing the square, extracting the square roots, and quadratic formula. For today, we are just focusing on factoring. So what is factoring? When we say factoring, it is the process of finding the factor or finding what to multiply together to get the expression. We have 5 steps in finding the factors of an equation. So first step is we have to transform the quadratic equation into a standard form. Again, what is the standard form? Here, we have the x squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Number 2, factor the quadratic equation. So, we have the open, when we factor the equation, we have the so-called open and closed parentheses. In mathematics, we read this as the quantity of. Number 3. Apply the zero product property by setting each factor of the quadratic equation equal to 0. like this. Yes? Okay. Number 4, solve each resulting equation. Now we're going now to solve. And for the last is checking. We're going to check if our factors are correct or it will result to the final equation. Check the value of the variables obtained by substituting each of the original equation. So let's now practice. Apply what the steps are. So we have the equation x squared plus 9x is equal to negative 8. So let's solve it by factoring. For step number 1, it says that we have to transform. So transform the equation into standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So since we have x squared plus 9x is equal to negative 8, we are going to equal it to 0. So here it is now. Transform. And for letter B, factor the quadratic expression x squared plus 9x plus 8. So factors, we have the so-called open and close parentheses, and we're going to read this now as the quantity of. So why is it x plus 1 times the quantity of x plus 8? So in factoring, we are going to find the two numbers, or we are going to factor the last term. So we have 1 and 8. Is 1 and 8 equal to 8? Yes. So and then for the second term, we are just going to find the two numbers. If we multiply the two numbers and it will result to positive 8, and we add the two numbers and will result to positive 9, then the equation or our factors are correct. So we have 8 plus 1 times 8, x plus 8. 1 times 8 is 8, and 1 plus 8 is 9. Is it correct? Okay, let's proceed. So apply the zero product property by setting each factor of the quadratic expression equal to 0. So x, since we already have the factor, now we're going to equal it to 0. X plus 1 times the quantity of x plus 8 is equal to 0. We're going to equate each factor. So we have x plus 1 is equal to 0 and x plus 8 is equal to 0. Next is we have to solve each resulting equation. We're now going to solve. So we have x plus 1 is equal to 0. The answer is x is equal to negative 1. Why is it negative 1? It is because when we transform the positive number to the right side and it passes by equal sign, it will now negative. For example, x plus 3 is equal to 0. So we are going to transpose negative 3 to the right sign, and it will pass to negative sign, and it will become negative 3 since it is positive. Correct? Are you there? Okay, very good. So let's proceed. X plus 8 is equal to 0. And the result is x is equal to negative 8. Why is it negative 8? Okay, very good. Because it passes by negative sign. So let's check the values obtained by substituting each in the original equation. So here it is. So we have, since we already get the x is equal to negative 1 and x is equal to negative 8, we are just going to substitute the squares to the original equation. So our original equation is x squared plus 9x is equal to negative 8. So for negative 1, we're just going to substitute negative 1 to the x. So x squared, we have negative 1 now. Negative 1 squared plus 9x. Substitute the negative 1 and it will result to negative x. Now, negative 1 times negative 1 is equal to 10. Very good, positive 1. Why? Why is it positive 1? It is because of similar sign. And 9 times negative 1 is equal to negative 9. Why is it negative 9? Micah? Yes, very good. It is because 9 here has the highest absolute value. So we're just going to copy the sign, negative. Very good. And equal to, just copy the negative 8. So negative 1 minus 9 is equal to negative 8. So 1 minus 9 is equal to negative 8. Why is it negative 8, Maricel? Yes, very good. So it is negative 8 because we have so-called rules, laos. When the signs are similar, like sign, we have to add. And if they have unlike sign, meaning we are going to subtract. Since the two have different signs, meaning it will going to, we have to subtract the two numbers. And just copy where the highest absolute value, 9, so negative 9. And result to negative 8. Since negative 8 is equal to negative 8, meaning it is equal, so in checking, when the two numbers are equal, meaning the negative 1, the square of negative 1 is one of the zeros of x squared plus 9x is equal to negative 8. Is equal to negative 8. Okay, understand? Any questions? Okay, very good. Since there is none, I have here some exercise for you to solve. Get one half sheet of paper and solve this. I'm just giving you 10 minutes to solve the equation. Oh. Since 10 minutes has ended, now let's check your words if they are correct. Exchange your paper, please. So, the correct answer is t is equal to negative 4. Who can solve t squared plus 18t is equal to negative 16. So, we're going to transform it into the standard form. T squared plus 18t plus 16 is equal to 0. Then we have to find the factor. We have 4 and 4. 16. 4 times 4 is equal to 16. And 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. So meaning our factors are correct. Now let's proceed to the final answer. T is equal to negative 4. Why is it negative 4? And why is it only one solution or one root? It is because of the factor. We have the similar factor. So it is understood that t plus 4 is equal to negative 4. Look at the perfect answer. Okay, very good. You understand the topic clearly. Okay, very good. So now let's proceed. I have here, since the time is about to end, I have here an assignment for you to solve it in your house. And proceed and pass it by tomorrow. And that's it for today. Goodbye, class.